Good morning, afternoon, actually. It's noon Central Standard Time, 3 hours until the close. And I'm feeling a little sick. I've had a cold here the last couple of days, but I'm also feeling very excited. And I wanted to show you a little bit of why that is because, one of the things that I am hawking for, is when is this market going to turn for us? um, it's been very, very frustrating and patient. You have to be patient and show resolve to get to this point. If you've held a lot of different mining stocks and especially the juniors, but there is a cyclicality to these markets that I don't believe has vanished. We had from 2011 to 2015 a bear market that was about as bad or maybe worse, a little better than the one we're in now, which is running on 3.5 years. And so this has happened before, it's happening again. And in that particular case, we woke up one day in January, I think it was the third week of January 16, and everything exploded. And GDXJ tripled by July of that year. And that means that a lot of we had juniors that went up 10x in 4, 5, 6 months. So I don't think I expect that this time, and I don't really want that this time because that to me was more of a bear market bounce, maybe a kickoff of a bull, but really unsustainable. And so in this case, I just want to see, and I think there's going to be some subtle signs and movement where you're like, I haven't checked my computer this week, or I haven't looked at that stock in a couple of weeks, and you're like, holy cow, it's already up 80%. Um, and we're seeing a little bit of that start right now. Now, whether this is a sustainable thing or not, I am not sure. But I've been saying that I thought in September we would begin what I would call a relief rally because the gold miners, which I look at as a proxy for really all the mining stocks, whatever most people don't say that, but whether it's copper junior miners, nickel junior mine, they're all in the gutter. And gold miners tend to be a good gauge for the entire mining sector. And what we've seen, I said that we were oversold and we're due. And then seasonality wise, we've got a lot of companies that like right now we're at the Beaver Creek conference, then they go to the Denver Gold Forum. It's conference season. It's a lot of companies that I've spoken with were hanging on to budgets to spend in September until the end of the year for marketing. So some select companies are going to start to pop, and it's going to be fairly easy this time with some promotion on companies that haven't done anything for years and their whole shareholder base is bombed out. So you're going to see big percentage moves in a lot of stuff, and I think that will bring attention to the markets. I'm more interested in what is happening with the bigger money. But we're starting to get a rally in GDXJ. What I wanted to point out today, though, guys, that I'm going to keep this short, is I'm going to give you a screen share. Because here's another example, okay, of 2 days ago. I focused on Encore Energy. It was right at like 360 Canadian. And I'm going to see if I can actually play this little link here. Let's see if you can hear the audio. You play it. What I essentially said in the video at the end of that video from 2 days ago, if you want to go listen to it at the end of 23 minutes, just for the last minute, I said you can buy Encore up to, let's see what I mentioned, because I used actually it was this benchmark right here, and the stock was below that, right, down here or so. And I mentioned that there could be resistance, but once it gets broken out, the stock, I said, quote unquote, will start to gallop higher. So you can buy it up to, if you see that broken, maybe buy up to 385 Canadian. So technically, we're at $4, snooze, you lose. It's already above my buy point. You know, you've got to in the better markets, you've got to be ready and you've got to act because these situations go away. Now, is it going to kill you if you bought it, if I buy some here versus where you bought it at 360? No, but it's 12% that you'd be up ahead of the game already. And those things count. Even my favorite ideas, if they come, if they get past a certain buy up to price, sayonara, I missed it. That's my discipline. Okay. And then I went for Carlisle, which has not moved yet. And so I'd be all over Carlisle. You know, again, I'm saying under 15 cents, it's a buy and you can buy it for 12, rising lows and highs and resistance at 16 and a half. And, you know, the blue skies up into the 40s. I think, well, you're going to have some resistance in this area, in the mid 20s, but that's where we're going. And I'm going to Vancouver on Sunday. And I have, as of last night, I sent out 26 invitations for meetings. And I've got 18 booked already. It's Sunday through Thursday. And it's probably going to balloon to like 30 meetings. And, you know, this is a consortium from investors. I've got a couple of elite members that are flying in to meet me, which is great. CEOs, you know, Mark Jarvis, Paul Colley lives there. Some of the other plays that we're involved in, some people that I haven't spoken with in years, you know, people that are very familiar with things like the uranium sector, like Dev Rwanda, Randawa, brokers, other big investors. And I'm going to have my finger on the pulse, I think, as of next week, you know, and part of the thing that's going to happen is that I'll be talking my book to them as well and zeroing in on certain things. But one thing I've got to tell you guys, I don't care if you're sick of hearing it from me. There's a reason why I'm so deep in this deal. Phenom. And um, if you listen to the recent video this week, if you haven't, I would you know suggest you do on the Dobbin gold property. I had an epiphany this week, so to speak, where I'm looking at Dobbin, Crescent Valley, and South Carlin, the deep end. Our three gold prospects are world class, incredible. Greenfield, yeah, but they are incredible discovery potential plays. And we're going to get a big discovery with Phenom. We've got a budget. They're going to be moving forward. There's going to be some things that are going on very short term on the drilling side. They walk through that in that video, Dave and Paul. And you know, I've always said the backstop, the defense of this thing is the vanadium asset, where we have over 400 million pounds of vanadium. The problem we've had is the vanadium price has been very weak since the fall, and we're trading under 7. It hasn't gone lower than back in the bear in the 3-year chart, it did go in 2020 down to 5. But we can also do this. When this only says, so it went to 30, and that was in 18, and we participated in this. This is the type of move that can happen in these small markets. And I'm convinced the supply demand situation over the next 3 to 5 years is going to, create a very robust vanadium price and demand for vanadium. And we've got the biggest and highest grade in North America growing, and it's PEA stage, and it's far and away, if anybody wants to have a mid to later stage development / growth exploration vanadium asset at surface, for any reason, whether you're a mining company, you're a car company, you're a industrial battery maker, we're at the top of the list to have somebody either JV with us or buy it. And that could happen anytime. I mean, there have been people, we saw a press release earlier this year that there were 4 companies coming to Paul. for offtake agreements. We've already got an offtake agreement with MK Plus, who's one of the most exciting stories in solid state vanadium batteries in the world. Their technology is disruptive. It's a breakthrough. They've had an $85 million private money valuation. We have 5% of that company. These things tell me something, just like with Giga, with Mitsubishi. What happened there? I'll be meeting up with Mark Jarvis, hopefully, as well. He hasn't got back to me yet. But anyway, you guys want to be buying more Phenom in these like mid to low 20s. Look, let's just be real. The worst case scenario on this, and look how freaking oversold this is. It's crazy. And part of that is me taking, my foot off the gas at all, because I just noticed if I'm going to buy more, I'd rather buy it more cheaply. You're looking at the worst case scenarios touching these levels in the mid teens back from 2020, which is what compelled me to get back involved in the deal. And then you look at what they've accomplished over these 2 years, 3 years. What have they accomplished? We've had 16 deep holes that cost 400 grand a piece, Canadian, at Carlin South. We're on hole number 17. We've got 2 properties that we drilled and missed already, which is fine with me. You've got to drill them, and this is exploration. This is wildcatting. But we have Crescent Valley and Dobbin, and we're going to have a gold discovery here at Phenom Resources. There's no question. Before we do the spin out, we'll see what timing that brings, but that's going to bring a lot of value to us as shareholders. And I can't resist talking about the thing here, period. I mean, it's just too cheap. And I'm calling some big investors that I haven't gotten into it yet, just letting them know, like, hey, here's what's going on. It's very cheap. I'm fully behind the deal. And we'll see who bites. Then, so really quick, I mentioned the GasX, the 3 stocks that I featured. This thing keeps climbing. Do what you will with it. We're up over 50%. I think I was looking at, the 110 level is probably a bit of resistance. The 140 level being the next level of some resistance, and then not until we're over $2. And these guys are hustling. So it's very interesting. Golden Tag is a steal. I'm going to leave it at that. Just a freaking steal. And I think the other company, what did I mention? Was it Phenom? I think so. So 3 companies that I wanted to do, and update on 3 of our positions, which was like, let's see, yeah, Phenom, Golden Tag, NG Energy. So that's it for today. I'm just going to mention, it's like, if we're entering into a better market and you guys have money, you have cash, and you're looking to, buy some bargains, I'm trying to do the best I can with even like the other video that I walked through, how we've had such massive winners, but only when people were buying in this type of an environment. Only then are you going to get the life changers, the 40, 60, 100x type of things. 10x, we're going to have a bunch of those again. And the last thing I'll say is this: I've had validation from other people, because I've actually been asking myself, what the hell is going on? I haven't had like a huge hit in a couple of years. I mean, after the Bitcoin thing, and we had big winners right before that, newfound gold and other things. So after 2020, it's been 2.5 years or whatever that, it's been a really bad market. And I just haven't, I've had some winners, but not like we did in the mid teens, like, going from 15 to 20, where, I look at the model portfolio and there are probably a dozen 5-bagger, 10-bagger club, 20-bagger club, 50-bagger club, 100-bagger club, 3x club, whatever. I mean, there's a lot of those. And one of the elite members who's become a friend, I called him like a week or 2 ago, and he put some money in a private placement recently. It was a little less than he normally does. I said, why don't you go bigger? You talk to the management. He said, look, I'm loaded into the sector. I'm low on cash, but usually there's a guy by the name of Eric Mashinsky who gets me a 10 bagger around right now and saves the day. And I said, look, I'm trying. But point being, and there's a lot of different ideas that I've put on the table, but some of these deals are going to work out enormously. And just try to stay the course. And if you don't agree with what I'm saying on any of the plays, and you're an educated pseudo pro or pro investor, so be it. But you know, any bid in this market, personally, all I'm going to tell you is that we are going to fucking kill it, like crush, destroy it. Okay. So that day is coming. But in the meantime, I'm really happy right now because I think there's at least the signs of a pulse. A relief rally can bring, 50, 100% moves in these deals in 2 weeks. And I want to be the one to take advantage of that stuff. So anyway, that's it for today, guys. And thanks for sticking with me. It's going to pay off. A lot of these different plays are looking fantastic to me, and buying into the value here still today is great. And what just happened with Encore is going to happen, and Encore is going to keep going. I think what happened with that, where you're like, you had 2 sessions to buy it under the buy up to price, and then it's gone. And then, that's going to start happening often. So just be open-minded to adjust your attitude in terms of how aggressive or not you want to be, because we've been playing defense for a long time. And that's what I keep talking about, this, lulling us into a lullaby of being asleep and playing defense and scared to do much. And the recency bias that we always get pulled into, like, that goes for world events and our relationships and our markets. We just automatically, our mind thinks that as things have been, they will continue to be. And I like to act as if that's not going to be the case when it merits it. And, part of that is just stirring up my remembrance of the fact that, I believe I'm right in this area, and it's going to change, and it's going to change. I'd like to be ahead of it a bit extra, like I have been, and suffer some of the unrealized losses, and have a chance to accumulate more. Eventually, if I'm right, it doesn't even matter. It's not going to matter. It's going to make me more money. And so hopefully the same is for you guys. And I'm going to stop the recording right there. Hold on here. Okay. So have a great day.